Quite frankly, I'm sick of it because we are on the doorstep of the greatest profit opportunity in history. The next phase of AI development offers a chance at generational wealth on a scale we've never seen before. Millionaires, billionaires, and yes, according to Mark Cuban, perhaps even trillionaires could be minted at a rate that would be unprecedented in human history. And yet, there are influential and powerful people who are making it their mission to bury your head in the sand while they line their pockets. It's so insidious. Every day there's another doomsday guru moaning about the collapse of America, another fear-mongering headline about the supposed end of the dollar, and on about how some Americans think the country is only headed downhill from here. And with this new phase of AI development predicted to unleash $200 trillion in new wealth, I just can't stand idly by any longer. I like to operate based on facts. And the facts are clear. For the past 100 years, life in America has mostly gotten better and better. Infant mortality has plunged by nearly 100-fold, becoming nearly non-existent. On average, we are now living longer than ever before. Despite what the mainstream media would have you believe, the American dollar is still the king, worth 4 times, 25 times, and even 149 times more than other first world currencies. And because of our vast wealth and American-based charities, American poverty has dropped by as much as 80%. In fact, we now have more new millionaires than at any other time in history, with more than 11,639 Americans joining the millionaire ranks every single day. And that last point is why we are here today, because right now we are on the doorstep of one of the greatest investment opportunities ever. And what I'm going to tell you about today could drastically improve your fortunes. Listen, the past 100 years have been great, but what's coming next is going to exponentially improve every facet of American life, which is why I'm so sick of seeing all these negative headlines, sick of these media puppets trying to keep regular Main Street investors poor. Because very soon, sooner than anyone probably expects, the next phase of AI development promises to unlock a windfall bigger than anything investors have ever seen before. As a matter of fact, when this next phase of AI hits the mainstream, Fortune magazine reports that Cathie Wood predicts it is going to create a $200 trillion wealth explosion. If you think the increased number of millionaires in America today is impressive, wait till you see what's coming next. Fortunate investors all over the country will have a shot at becoming financially set for life if they make the right moves today. And the best part is, you do not need to be an insider to claim your share of this massive pile of new wealth. You do not need any kind of special connections. And you don't need to be an expert investor, because all of it will be up for grabs to anybody who knows what to do when this historic moment comes. Just to put into perspective the insane amount of money at stake here, with $200 trillion, you could take 1/2 and pay every American man, woman, and child a whopping $294,000. Then, with the other half, you could buy Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon each 12 times over. And there would still be so much money left over that I don't know how you could ever spend it all. Unfortunately, though, we all know this brand new wealth explosion will not fall into the hands of every American man, woman, and child. As with all millionaire minting opportunities, the biggest rewards will go straight into the pockets of the intelligent few who put themselves into position ahead of time. Typically, that is only Wall Street insiders and corporate fat cats. But if you're watching this, I believe the odds are good you could be one of the folks who profit immensely as well. The only thing keeping you from this incredible future and its fortune, the daily doomsayers. If you choose to believe them, I and the hundreds of thousands of new millionaires who will emerge from this historic opportunity will not feel sympathy for you. Because right here today, I'm going to explain in explicit detail everything you need to know to get started. You just need to act fast because the companies involved in this new phase of AI development are soaring right now as we speak. For example, finger motion has shot up 403% in a little over 1 month, all because it's one of the first companies gearing up for this next phase of AI. Upstart Holdings went up 504% in less than a quarter because it was the first in its sector to adapt to this next phase of AI, allowing it to grow its revenue by 32%. And then there's Big Bear AI. This early phase 2 company went ballistic, exploding almost 900% in less than 2 months. And folks, these kinds of explosive returns are just the beginning. Because once this potential $200 trillion tsunami becomes fully realized, life in America is going to change in ways you can't possibly fathom. Medical miracles are going to be created and performed virtually on demand, potentially saving as many as 72 million American lives every year. Inflation, as we know it, will cease to exist because for the first time in modern history, the average price of goods and services will go down over time. And the new quality of life industries, such as transportation as a service, will take off and pay incredible dividends before our very eyes, giving Americans back hours of their day as well as brand new sources of income, while reducing fatal accidents by 90%. And last, but definitely not least, this phase of AI has the power to create more millionaires than any other technological breakthrough in history. Because even before it has fully blossomed in America, AI-driven companies are already making investors rich faster than is even comprehensible. In just 1 week, Easy Fill Holdings doubled investors' returns. In just 1 month, T-Stamp could have quadrupled anyone's starting stake. And in just less than 4 months, Applied Optoelectronics could have grown anyone's investment 9-fold. Folks, we're talking about making 9 times your money before this AI development has even come fully online. And very few folks are even aware that this is happening. Imagine what will happen after everyone knows, after this new $200 trillion windfall hits the masses. The kind of returns we can expect to see will be nothing short of extraordinary. And the brightest minds on Wall Street know it. In fact, one analyst notes that Wall Street elites are so rabid for these investments, it's practically looking like a Game of Thrones battle right now, with the biggest investment kings vying for supremacy. Bill Ackman, Stanley Druckenmiller, Paul Tudor Jones, Cathie Wood, Ray Dalio, even Warren Buffett, who's normally shied away from tech investing. These giants are all in on the AI revolution to the tune of a whopping $180 billion investment in AI stocks, with expectations of seeing these stocks soaring for years to come. Speaking of stocks, research firm FactSet found that a record-breaking 110 S&P 500 companies are scrambling to get ahead of this new phase of AI development because some analysts see that it could boost economic growth by 30 to 100-fold. In fact, this potential 10,000% boost to the American economy is the same reason even the U.S. government is piling in, increasing their AI R&D budget by as much as 228%. Folks, if it wasn't clear by now, let me say it again in no uncertain terms. We are on the cusp of the biggest financial boom we've ever seen in the history of this country. And as ChatGPT founder Sam Altman so eloquently said, AI will make a lot of people rich. If you stick around to the end of this presentation, I'm going to show you how to have a chance to be one of them. Because moments like these are the kind of rare moments that, if you act correctly, can change your family's future forever. These are the moments where the logical, factual thinking folks who know that they must ignore the doom and gloom headlines, will come away richer than they could ever dream of. This is a chance to help pay off the mortgage, help sock away cash for your kids' college tuition, and finally, build that dream retirement. I'm telling you, make the right moves today and you can have it all. I've done it. I've shown countless others how to do it. And today, I'm going to do everything within my power to make sure you can do it too. Because that's a promise I made to myself after I had to make some of the most brutal phone calls of my life. My name, by the way, is Alexander Green. You may have seen my name in Barron's, Forbes, or even the Wall Street Journal because I've written multiple best-selling books about investing and retiring rich. I was one of the few who invested in Apple, Amazon, and Netflix for mere pennies on the dollar. Or maybe you even saw how Bill O'Reilly called me America's #1 millionaire maker. Bill and I gave a legendary investment presentation that was so impactful, even President Trump retweeted it to the entire world. But what I have always kept close to my chest, what I've kept completely private from the rest of the world until today, is why helping Main Street is my mission. Why I take the doomsaying going on right now so personally. When I started in this business, the markets were amazing. But when I went to work on October 19th, 1987, when I was a money manager, that day was known as Black Monday, the market tanked 22% in a single day. And just like that, my world changed forever as those phone calls came in. People were crying. Some were screaming or totally shell-shocked. They thought the world was ending, that their retirement dreams were as good as gone. But I remember telling people that if you simply bought now, you'd be setting yourself up for years of dramatic growth going forward. However, no matter how hard I pounded the table, almost nobody would listen to me. And much to my frustration, every sell-off since then has sparked the same reaction from most mainstream investors. You look at the Great Recession of 2008. Many doubted it was even possible for the market to recover because the collapse was so devastating. Nonetheless, in December 2008, I famously called out all the doomsayers when I wrote, "Too many investors are drawing a parallel between the crash of 1929 and the performance of the stock market this year. Today's market represents a historic buying opportunity." And anyone who listened had the opportunity to buy household names like Apple before it exploded 5,800% over 13 years. Microsoft before it skyrocketed 2,100% over 14 years. And even Netflix before it minted a 10,000% fortune over the next 15 years. But of course, scared stiff by the media, almost nobody listened to me. I was even quoted in Mark Skousen's The Maxims of Wall Street as saying, "Wall Street is the only place where the customers don't buy when the merchandise goes on sale." Then the same thing happened again back in March 2020. Worldwide cases of coronavirus were doubling in days. And even though the stock market was falling faster than it ever did in the Great Depression, I told millions of readers on March 24th, it's time to load up again. And again, most people thought I had lost my mind to recommend such an optimistic action. However, from the depths of despair, we saw countless stocks soar higher, like Tesla, which ran up a rare 1,200% in less than 2 years, or CrowdStrike, which took off 437% over the next 6 months, or even Riot Platforms, which skyrocketed 2,100% before year's end. And here we are again. Even today, in the current slump our markets have been facing, I'm doing the exact same thing I've always done, even with all the pessimism, the investor fears of record high inflation, and the looming threat of a recession. I told everyone that we will see a serious rebound in share prices. But thanks to the Chicken Littles all throughout the media these days, most people just wouldn't accept it. And sure enough, since then, top performing stocks like Duolingo, Meta, and Carvana took off 163%, 260%, and even 1,025%, all in about a year. And so I'm just going to say it again for the people in the back. I'm sick of it because I'm certain that in response to today's message, where I'm revealing the #1 way for you to profit from the next development in AI, some people still will not listen. Instead, they will watch the worrywart pundits argue about how bad they think things will be. In fact, right now, NBC reports more Americans than ever before in history believe it's only downhill from here. But I can't fault people for feeling so pessimistic. The media have become exceptionally skilled at doing their jobs. They love to shine a spotlight on everything that's negative and dramatic. If it bleeds, it leads, is standard media practice. But where are their solutions? How are they helping you? If you're paying attention to headlines about our very recent past, well, of course, it feels like America's on the wrong track and that our best years are behind us. And the mainstream media is doing their best to make it seem like AI is only going to make things worse. All they want to talk about is how AI will eliminate jobs and leave folks poorer than ever. They even claim it will lead to universal basic income. However, this is all just nonsense because actual economists at Deloitte found that going back as far as 1871, technology breakthroughs have always created more jobs than they displace. The adoption of the assembly line, the adoption of computers, and even the adoption of the internet. The number of jobs available has exploded by as much as 132%, 365%, and even 909%. Today, there are almost 2 jobs for every American looking for work. And best of all, with today's opportunity in AI, you don't need to learn how to code to aim to retire rich. In fact, quite the opposite. It requires very little work or learning on your part at all. You just need to be aware of this new investment opportunity in AI and make the right moves ahead of time. Because I know as the next phase of AI takes hold in America, just like the internet and the assembly line, we will see an explosion in the number one factor for creating new millionaires. And that factor is called productivity. Productivity, which essentially means doing more with less, will accelerate dramatically thanks to AI, driving economic growth and leading to new ideas and new jobs and newfound wealth. This will help unleash a new era of human prosperity and improved human welfare, because anything that can be achieved by human intelligence can be sped up and enhanced by AI. Here's what I think is essential to know. Before long, I believe every child is going to have an AI tutor. Every worker is going to have an AI mentor. Every scientist and engineer is going to have an AI researcher. Every doctor is going to have an AI collaborator. Every business person will have an AI consultant. Everyone will have an infinitely patient, infinitely knowledgeable, infinitely helpful partner available 24/7. That's going to have an infinitely beneficial impact on society and businesses as well, which are about to experience a massive productivity boom. Time and time again, we've seen when levels of productivity have massive breakthroughs, like with the assembly line, the combustion engine, personal computers, and more recently, the internet and smartphones. It always leads to massive expansions of wealth. It doesn't matter if you were rich or poor. It doesn't even matter how poorly the economy was performing right before the breakthrough. Productivity always breaks the doors wide open for big and small investors alike to profit. Just take what happened to everyday Americans in the early 1990s, for example. To combat rising inflation, the Federal Reserve jacked up interest rates all the way to 8%, even higher than today's interest rates. Unemployment was sitting at 12%, 3 times higher than it is today. And the future of America's economy was looking bleak as productivity growth slowed by as much as 40%, sending us into a recession. By all accounts, just like today, most Americans thought it was all downhill from there. That America's best years were behind her. And thanks to the internet, the new technology that people feared would take their jobs, America's productivity skyrocketed by nearly 100%, unlocking over $3 trillion in new wealth, and sparked what the mainstream media called the run of the millionaires. All told, we saw over 3.1 million American families become first-generation millionaires during this productivity boom. And some of their stories are simply astounding. Ann F. from California was making $53,000 a year and living in a trailer park when she made a few smart investments in the internet's productivity boom. They would grow to become worth over $1 million. And as you can imagine, Ann used her new fortune to pay off the mortgage, buy herself a new car, and even gift six figures to her sons' families. Same thing happened to Joe K. from Pittsburgh. He went from dreaming about making $25,000 a year to having his retirement account hit seven figures in just 4 years. He credits it all to the internet productivity boom. And Markay L. retired early as she took $2,000, invested into the internet productivity boom, and made $2 million in just 2 years flat. Imagine that. Imagine turning $2,000 into a multi-million-dollar fortune. That's what can happen whenever there is a new productivity boom. It always creates new millionaires faster than anything else in the world. In fact, nothing else in economics comes even close to productivity as being a more powerful indicator of financial opportunity for regular Main Street investors. The introduction of the assembly line was the same story. It allowed workers to build in-demand products 8 times faster than any individual ever could, sparking a productivity boom for the ages, because soon after this dramatic increase in productivity, the American economy exploded 347% higher, and the number of new millionaires in America grew at a rate we had never seen before. All told, before entering the assembly line's productivity boom, there were only 13,000 millionaires in America. But afterward, that number grew more than 9x, shooting to over 124,000 American millionaires. Are you seeing the pattern here? When a productivity boom hits, we always see the smart investors, even folks from modest beginnings, become very, very rich. Because as I just showed you, no matter how bad the times may seem, no matter your station in life, or even how much money you start with, a productivity boom always creates new millionaires faster than ever before. And today, thanks to this next phase of AI, we are set to experience the biggest productivity boom yet, potentially minting more millionaires than any boom we've seen in history. Because unlike past booms, which only benefited a few key industries, such as manufacturing or computer technology, the next phase of AI is creating productivity booms in almost every industry. Already, software coders are producing work twice as fast, resulting in huge implications for the $589 billion software industry. Lawyers are getting work done 212 times faster, promising exponential gains for the $372 billion legal services market. And doctors are now performing tasks so outlandishly fast. I'm talking about an extraordinary 19,000% boost in productivity. It's going to create societal change in the $808 billion healthcare industry. And with this dramatic change is going to come the opportunity of a lifetime, one that will come faster than most folks expect. My research firm has already alerted readers to some of these impressive early wins, such as Samsara's fast 100% in 64 days, Broadcom's 643% in less than 3 months, and even identified NVIDIA before it doubled with the recent AI boom. But with as much as $200 trillion up for grabs, the biggest gains are yet to come. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you what I believe is the best way to play this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Because remember, the biggest names on Wall Street, countless corporate CEOs, and even the federal government are cementing their positions as global leaders in this AI-driven productivity boom. They know how massive the opportunity is here. Some Wall Street analysts say this next phase of AI could grow the economy as much as 3,000%. Others are simply urging their firms to get in now because they see $200 trillion in future gains at stake. And if you don't act on this opportunity here, today, you're going to be too late, because the truth is, while it's still early innings right now, the next phase of AI is already delivering an incredible, life-changing impact on the world around us. And soon enough, it's going to wake everyone up to this undeniable $200 trillion truth. After all, AI is already doing amazing things. For example, my research shows that AI is in the process of saving approximately 72 million lives around the world. Everyday folks who otherwise would have died are now being given a second lease on life. If it weren't for AI, doctors would have never caught Bill C's intracranial bleeding in time. He would have been dead long before doctors ever saw his CT scan results. If it weren't for AI, Albert would have never found new uses from existing drugs to put his rare disease into remission and even restore function to his dying organs. If it weren't for AI, Courtney would have never found the correct diagnosis and eventually treatment for her son's rare neurological disorder called tethered cord syndrome. Where 17 prestigious doctors failed over the course of 3 years, AI gave Courtney the chance to save her son in just minutes. And these kinds of stories are why we're seeing rare, explosive, overnight gains like 345% from Phymosys Inc., 511% from Soleno Therapeutics, and even 3,972% from Tempest Therapeutics. To be clear, these are some of the rarest AI winners in this speculative market, yet just a fraction of these gains would be incredible. Nothing is ever guaranteed in investing, however, and risk is always a factor, so you should never invest more than you can afford to lose. As you just saw, though, with AI, Phase 2, you don't need to invest much to dramatically change your life. In fact, a meager $1,000 into Tempest would have turned into more than $40,000. To get in on these kinds of gains, you just have to make the right moves now. Because with the next phase of AI, things are only going to get more explosive from here on out. The fact of the matter is, AI is already changing the healthcare industry so fast that I'm confident that within the next 10 years, we may even find cures to the worst diseases known to man, saving more lives than any other medical breakthrough in history. For example, CNBC reports that thanks to AI, we've achieved a breakthrough moment in Alzheimer's treatment. 6 million Alzheimer's afflicted patients may get a new lease on life. Fox Business reports that an AI heart scan can detect and mitigate heart attack risk 3, 5, or even 10 years before symptoms begin, potentially eradicating the #1 cause of death in America for good. And researchers from the University of Toronto and in silico medicine used an AI-powered database to create a drug that could potentially treat liver cancer. And they created this new potential cure in just 30 days. Folks, AI is driving us toward this healthier, disease-free world as we speak, a world where we no longer have to fear heart attacks, dementia, or cancer in our golden years, a world where our grandchildren will probably wonder what diseases are in the first place. And that's just the start. As long as you can make one move today, you can tap into this new phase of AI development. It is poised to not only cure diseases and mint Main Street millionaires, but even bring an end to inflation as we know it. In fact, because of AI's powerful impact on productivity, we may never again see inflation rise above 2% in our lifetimes, because AI solves one of the biggest problems we've had with inflation: rabid demand outpacing a limited supply. You see, ever since the world supply chain got shut down because of COVID, we've had too much money chasing too few goods. This always sends prices skyrocketing, but soon enough, the next phase of AI will create a world where supply is virtually endless, which means for the first time in modern history, I believe the average prices of goods and services will go down over time. Productivity will soar through the roof, and smart investing strategies like I'm about to share with you in a moment will hold the power to generate untold scores of new American millionaire investors. because by using AI, machines that never need to sleep or eat or drink or take vacation, we will be able to create infinitely more goods and services to meet demand and send prices downward. And we're already seeing this play out in ways you may not have realized. With AI robotics, the price of home and tech appliances has dropped year over year. With AI legal software, the cost of fighting parking tickets comes down from $500 to just a measly $12. And with AI being adopted in healthcare, the Center for Economic Policy Research predicts a savings of up to $360 billion in medical bills every year with how fast and easy AI is making medical diagnostics. But I think the savings will be even bigger than that because we're already seeing AI apps like Skin Vision offer skin diagnostic services for free. The point is, with AI robots working around the clock to make more and more physical items, and AI software working around the clock to provide more and more services, for the first time in history, average prices of goods and services could begin to go down over time, leading to a world where I project inflation will become virtually non-existent, ensuring the foundation of your retirement will remain intact. And the timing of this impact couldn't be better, because with one move here today, you will be among the first to invest in the new AI-powered autonomous drone industry, valued at a potential $2.4 billion. New opportunities for AI in the transportation industry, valued at a potential $1.1 trillion. And AI financial software, which has the potential to take over what could be a $28 billion financial services industry, and so many more potential new industries. It would make your head spin. And the best part of it all, your big payday could come sooner than you realize. Simply by tapping into the new development of AI, you could be among the new Main Street winners. It doesn't matter how much money you have or if you know anything at all about technology. Anyone can participate in this historic event. And this opportunity is imminent because AI just entered phase 2 adoption. And AI reached phase 2 faster than any other technology in history, which is important because when a technology reaches phase 2 adoption by hitting around 100 million users, it creates millionaire minting opportunities left and right. For example, it took the assembly line 31 years to hit phase 2, over 3 decades to create over 125,000 new millionaires. It took 7 years for the internet to reach phase 2. That's under 1 decade for 3.1 million American households to become first-generation millionaires. And now, look at AI's adoption. It's only taken 2 months to reach phase 2. Not 3 decades, not 1 decade, 2 months. That's 41 times faster than the internet and 186 times faster than the assembly line, which means if you want to capture the biggest gains to potentially build the retirement you want, you need to act now. As we speak, AI stocks that are speeding up phase 2 adoption are already making early investors rich. C3, a provider of enterprise AI software, has risen 152% in 1 month. Symbotic, an AI warehouse robotics company, rose 650% over the last year. T-Stamp, an AI identity service for banking and finance, is up 333% in less than a month. Applied Optoelectronics, which teamed up with AI giant Microsoft to build their chips, skyrocketed 9-fold. And Big Bear AI, an AI supply chain company, rose nearly 900% in just 2 months. These are rare gains requiring expert timing. A fraction of them would be amazing. And right now, I'm going to reveal the exact way for you to profit on this amazing opportunity. But before we get to the most profitable move you could possibly make, I want to first share the safest bet to profit from AI's phase 2. Remember, at the beginning of this presentation, I told you I was going to do everything within my power to show you how to profit from this next phase of AI adoption. Well, I'm going to start by recommending that you get into a company I feel so certain about, I would recommend it to my own friends and family. And that's IBM. While most folks have just heard of AI, IBM has been building AI-focused tech for decades. In 1997, the firm's supercomputer Deep Blue learned how to beat world chess champion Garry Kasparov in a 6-game match. Over 2 decades ago, its Watson supercomputer famously defeated all human champions on Jeopardy! And recently, IBM launched an all-new version of Watson, their flagship AI product, which is driving profits sky high for Fortune 500 businesses. Before using IBM's original Watson AI in 2016, Humana's revenues were flat. However, after implementing Watson, this $57 billion health giant nearly doubled their revenue. Look at multinational telecom Vodafone. In 2019, they suffered an operating loss of $1 billion. But then, once Watson AI came along, Vodafone's operating profit shot up to a staggering $14 billion. And ABN AMRO's story is even crazier. In 2020, ABN reported a loss of over $48 million. But once they signed up for IBM's Watson cloud credits, their profits rose sharply by more than $2 billion in just 2 years, all thanks to IBM's AI tech. And these are just 3 of the many companies turning to IBM's AI to supercharge their profits. Most folks don't even realize that IBM has 40,000 customers just like these. Think of how valuable this is for IBM investors, and that's why I believe that this blue chip stock is the perfect foundation for an AI portfolio in the making. It's safe, it's steady, it's IBM. However, IBM is not my most explosive AI recommendation today, and if you want to speed up your retirement goals, then pay close attention to what I'm about to share next. I believe my next pick is going to be one of those legendary retirement-making stocks that everyone will wish they got in on today while it was still trading at just a few bucks. You see, what's coming next for AI market growth is both immense and inevitable. With a record-setting 110 S&P 500 companies, 99% of all Fortune 500 companies, and half of all tech companies racing to adopt AI. The AI market is now 6 times bigger than autonomous vehicles, 9 times bigger than 5G, and 15 times bigger than quantum computing. And in the years ahead, experts estimate this already booming market will get bigger still, growing by an astonishing 769%. But honestly, I think they lowballed it because this AI adoption isn't just limited to here in the United States. No, this race to adoption encompasses the entire world. Everyone from the world's biggest governments and universities to millions of small businesses and startups, everyone will soon be using AI. The user market here is going to be unbelievably huge, meaning any company who knows how to profit off of the explosive growth of new users could print money in a way we've never seen before, which is why I'm so excited about one overlooked AI stock that nobody else is talking about. The firm is already bringing in 4 times more revenue per customer than IBM, Amazon Web Services, and Google Cloud combined. And since the early stages of AI adoption, they have tripled their number of customers, secured a massive new contract with guaranteed access to 3,100% more clients, partnered with Amazon Web Services in a deal that will give them access to Amazon's huge list of more than 1 million active users. And according to my analysis, with the ridiculous revenue per customer they're bringing in, as well as the hundreds of billions of dollars coming in contractually guaranteed future revenues, I expect it's only a matter of time before shares push up 100%, 500%, and even 1,000% higher in the months to come. And best of all, because so few people are aware of this right now. The stock is only sitting at around 15 bucks. And in my new report called The New AI Kingpin, How to Make a Retirement Fortune from the Next Phase of AI Adoption, I'll give you all the details, including the name of this investment, the ticker symbol, and my instructions on how to get in at the best possible price. In just a second, I'll show you how to download this report instantly. But first, I need to tell you about one more lucrative AI investment. You see, right now, there's a huge problem that's causing 99% of businesses to lose vast amounts of money, and the damages are so widespread. The Consortium for Information and Software Quality reports this problem is costing our economy $2 trillion, and the root of the issue stems from poor software integration. To put it very plainly, imagine if every business was trying to run by forcing Apple software on a Windows computer. But thanks to the special AI pick I found, companies can now connect all of their once incompatible software tools at the push of a button. The company has 3,000 customers around the world, including some very big names like Microsoft, SAP, and Oracle. And their revenue seems to never stop skyrocketing thanks to happy customers. I wouldn't be surprised if this pick became the next Salesforce. Salesforce stock, as you may know, made many early investors rich as it moved more than 4,900% higher over its lifetime. And you could get in starting today. Everything you need to get started can be found inside my special report called The Fortune 500 AI Savior. Make a potential 4,900% from a $2 trillion miracle. There's no doubt in my mind, these investment recommendations could be among the most profitable of my career. And with your permission, I'd love to send these recommendations to you immediately. Because as I've said time and time again today, I'm sick of the doomsayers and the chicken littles that keep folks in the dark about the real opportunities that exist. And while they tell the most morbid and pessimistic side of the story in the most hyperbolic way they possibly can, it's gone on long enough, and I can't just sit idly by while this happens. Not when there are so many ways to get rich from AI entering phase 2. As long as I hold my position as the chief investment strategist at the Oxford Club, we will not print gloomy outlooks just to scare you into clicking and reading and spending money. We are one of the nation's oldest independent financial research publishers. We never have and never will take any kickbacks or payments from Wall Street. We never have and never will take commissions from stocks that you may or may not invest in, because we will let no one stop us from completing our core mission, and that's showing ordinary people how they can go from worrying about money to total financial independence. Look at the stories of some of my happiest readers. Just take Irvin Upshaw, who wrote in, "My portfolio has grown about 200-fold over decades. I can say the Oxford Club and Alex have had a significant impact on my life. My best investment ever." Or Sam Langston, who told me, "I love your service and wish I discovered it 20 years ago. That would have saved me $500,000. And perhaps most impressively, Pat Douglas, who said, "Reader for 10 years. I started with $150,000. Today, I have $3.5 million, despite all my personal and family expenses." And this is only a small sample of the tens of thousands of people that I've helped over the years. The best part of all, we don't charge tens of thousands of dollars to make these kinds of results happen. Today, I can send you all these potentially life-changing investment ideas at a very modest rate, practically for pennies on the dollar, making it easily the best bargain on or off Wall Street. But before I go into the details about the cost, there's one final investment I think you should make immediately to take advantage of possibly the biggest opportunity of our lifetimes. This last investment idea is my favorite one. It's a small company I'm sure you've never heard of. All the stocks that allowed me to create multiple retirement fortunes for me and my family, Apple, Netflix, and Amazon, all of these stocks had one thing in common. They experience what is known as hypergrowth, which can cause a stock's price to soar. Hypergrowth comes when new tech pushes a company's revenue growth to 40% or more. And for the past few years, this new AI company has been experiencing annual revenue growth of 47%. Over 10,000 companies have already lined up for this firm's unique AI service with some incredibly stellar results. With their plug-and-play AI, this tiny stock helped Uber add $22 million, helped Deloitte save over $104 million, and even helped fintech company Fiserv make an extra $3 billion in profits. But I'm willing to bet that less than 1 in 50,000 investors have heard of this company. So if you want to make sure you ride this hyper-growth stock for potentially 1,000% or more in returns, then I recommend you read my special report immediately. It's called The #1 AI Hyper-Growth Stock, your second shot at Apple, Amazon, or Netflix. Again, I can have this special report in your hands in just a few minutes, along with the new AI Kingpin, how to make a retirement fortune from the next phase of AI adoption, and the Fortune 500 AI Savior, make a potential 4,900% from a $2 trillion miracle. All for free when you start a no-risk trial subscription to my stock investment recommendation and research service, the Oxford Communique. And once you're in, I think you're going to love it here, because the Oxford Communique is a letter I put together to connect with wealth builders all over the country and around the world who care about their families and recognize the true value of money: freedom. Money is the ability to do amazing things if you want to. It's the ability to live in a fully paid off home, in a safe community, to travel to see your family whenever you want, to help your children and grandchildren succeed, to start a business, to buy a second home at the beach. The reason to pursue great wealth is to give yourself the freedom to do those things. And that's my sole goal here when I write the latest edition of the Oxford Communique each month, to help our members achieve true freedom by increasing their retirement wealth. In fact, here's what you can expect from me once you're in. At the start of every month, you'll be among the first to receive an email containing a big update, covering my insights on the economy, interest rates, business developments, and of course, my favorite stocks with the most upside potential, as well as my newest stock recommendation. My team and I will also show you exactly how to allocate a portfolio across our recommendations to maximize your potential gains while minimizing risk, just as I did for some of my uber wealthy clients on Wall Street for nearly 2 decades. This way, you will know step by step exactly which stock I think you should invest in, at what price, and our goals for each pick. And as a special bonus, I'll even give you access to my personal Rolodex of financial professionals. Once you're in the Oxford Communique, you will have access to a variety of experts who specialize in serving the financial and travel needs of the world's wealthiest people. These exclusive Pillar 1 advisors are here to help you with all your banking and tax services needs, little-known real estate investment ideas to boost your retirement income, and even elite travel destinations and lifestyle services at discounted rates, as well as a whole lot more. Now, I know we've covered quite a bit here today, so to recap, by taking advantage of this offer, you will receive Report 1, the new AI Kingpin, how to make a retirement fortune from the next phase of AI adoption. Report 2, the Fortune 500 AI Savior, make a potential 4,900% from a $2 trillion miracle. Report 3, the #1 AI hypergrowth stock, your second shot at Apple, Amazon, or Netflix. You'll also get a 12-month subscription to the Oxford Communique. I'll send you the latest issue of my newsletter every single month, containing recommendations, portfolio updates, and other insights and opportunities for profits. Access to all 5 of our portfolios, and that includes the Oxford Trading Portfolio, the Gone Fishing portfolio, the Oxford All-Star portfolio, our 10 Baggers of Tomorrow portfolio, and our super safe Fortress portfolio, including the names, stock symbols, and original entry dates and prices for all the holdings. You'll also get access to Pillar One advisors who can advise you on rare art and collectibles, real estate, gold, currencies, precious metals, how to get the maximum savings on your annual taxes, and so much more. Plus, you can even get great travel benefits through the Oxfordian Hotel Collection. You'll also get invitations to join me and other club experts at 5-star locations across the country for special investment conferences. So, how much does it cost to gain all these great benefits? Well, frankly, I know I could easily sell the package I've put together today for thousands or possibly tens of thousands of dollars to wealthy investors, but I'm sick of how the little guy never gets a seat at the table. I'm sick of the mainstream media only giving a voice to the Wall Street elites who abuse their positions to line their own pockets. I know there are a lot of people out there, normal, hardworking, everyday folks who need the advice of an experienced investor before they think about buying stocks. Advice like, which stock should I buy? When should I buy? And when should I sell? How much should I invest? And I'm going to answer a lot of these questions in the reports I want to send you. And you'll see when you join the Oxford Communique, we leave no stone unturned. You'll have a wealth of knowledge and direct investment expertise at your fingertips. I'm going to guide you through this next phase of AI, which is set to unlock over $200 trillion in wealth. I'm going to take you by the hand and do everything in my power to help you be a part of the countless huge opportunities that AI's productivity boom will create. The only thing I need you to do is to act here and join us now. You won't need to pay $20,000 and 2% of profits to do it like the hedge funds charge. You won't need to pay even $5,000 to get in on the action. Heck, you won't even need to pay retail, which we've sold for as much as $249. Instead, today, you can get full access to the names, ticker symbols, and research of the companies positioned perfectly to fill investors' pockets as they ride the AI adoption. When you subscribe to my monthly newsletter, the Oxford Communique, for just $69. But you can only get that right here, right now. If you click out of this page, this special deal goes away and you're left with only the $249 retail price on our Oxford Club website. But right now, for the price of an inexpensive dinner, you can gain instant access to direct instructions on how to make your money grow dramatically in the months and years ahead. Even better, this subscription is 100% risk-free. After reviewing everything I'll send you, if you decide at any point in the next 365 days that the Oxford Communique isn't right for you, no problem. Simply give us a call and we will promptly refund 100% of your money. But I have a feeling you're not going to call because month after month, year after year, all we've ever done is beat the market time and time again. In fact, our latest track record review from 1999 to October 2023 revealed that our average trade beat the S&P 500 by 153%. That's why our members stick with us for the long haul. To get started, simply click the Join Now button below. You'll be taken to a special page where you will fill out our quick order form and review everything before submitting your order. Once you fill it out, you'll have access to everything mentioned above in a matter of minutes. And since you've made it here, I know that you're smart enough to take action and follow my instructions. I know that you're not going to fall for the doomsayers or the Chicken Littles in the mainstream media. Instead, once you click Join Now, you're going to be a part of the Oxford Communique's ranks of countless first-generation millionaires and multimillionaires in the making. And I can't wait to welcome you inside. This is Alexander Green from the Oxford Club, signing off and welcoming you aboard.